Hey everyone, Daddy here with the weekly review for Friday, June 13th. Alright, read a bunch of books this week, almost everything I could get my hands on, and I got 21 books here that I thought you might want to check out. First off is the new issue of Absolute Batman, issue 9. We got the introduction of Absolute Bane in here, and he's pretty scary, much like the Batman in this series. Everything is super exaggerated. He's so muscular that when he walks through doors, it breaks the door frames and that. But we see Bruce having to deal with him as he's trying to break into Arkham, and we find out that this place is basically a whole city or a whole underground dwelling of evil research and that going on. So we see some of these supervillains are being made and that there. So Batman so far was pretty outmatched against this new Absolute Bane character. Also from DC, we got the Summer of Superman going on, and we got Action Comics here. I enjoyed this issue. It kind of has a flashback to Superman remembering when he was Superboy, and just before he became, his identity got out, and he started, posing as Superboy and that, and it shows him having an adventure with a new villain there as well too. I believe his name is Raze. So pretty lots of fun here. I enjoyed the artwork. I've been enjoying lots of the younger superhero stories lately, like Superboy and Spider-Boy and that. So this here is neat to see, and it does tie into current things going on in the Superman stories and that. So lots of good fun, especially with all the Superman movie hoopla coming up. From DC, we got the newest episode of Dark Patterns. This is issue 7. This is starting off of a new arc in here. Each one of these are 3-story arcs. This is what I think is my favorite Batman book on the shelves right now. It's really, really dark. I enjoy the artwork in here. Hayden Sherman's doing the arc. We've had some pretty cool arcs so far. And this one now is about there's constantly fire going on and arson and that. So Batman is sent to find this body that is discovered in a dryer inside one of these kind of shady areas. I think they call it the Rookery. And now there is a mystery linking this Rookery to this burned body and that. So I enjoy it a lot. It's been a good kind of like a good old-fashioned detective series, which Batman should be. From Oni, we have an EC comic. This is Blood Type. This character was in, I believe, issue of 3 of Tales of Epitaph, and she's spinning out into her own series. It's about a vampire and how she's crossing the ocean into America and that, and gets sidetracked. But I enjoyed this a lot. If you're a vampire fan at all, this is definitely going to be right up your alley. Some pretty spooky artwork as well too. Fits in perfectly. So I enjoyed this one a lot. From Mad Cave, something that I wasn't expecting at all. I'm trying to get a copy of this because I, for some reason, missed it on my pull list. This is Blue Palo Verda. Neat book. I enjoyed the artwork in here. It's about a young woman who's just gets out of jail, and she's waiting for her father to show up, and he doesn't show up in that, so she goes looking for him. This woman seems to be kind of a badass, and she goes to her father's place, and he's gone, he's left, and kind of mysteriously just up and left behind his car and that for her. So she's tracking him down to this kind of rural little town in New Mexico, I believe it is, and it's kind of like a suspicious little town. It's almost like it's the perfect little town, almost too perfect, and they make it well known that they don't want her there and that. And she does find her dad there, and as they're taking part in some kind of like sacrilegious kind of cult initiation ritual going on. So she gets knocked down, and looks like the town's going to capture her. So obviously this town is being controlled by this cult and that. So neat book so far. Like I said, from Mad Cave. Blue Palo Verde. Completely off the radar, but I did enjoy that. From Marvel, we have The Death of the Silver Surfer. Great cover there. We got Pac doing the writing here with that Fantastic Four movie coming up soon. They're going to be trying to fulfill as much Silver Surfer stuff as possible. This one here is a great story. Well, the Silver Surfer has returned to Earth after many, many years, and he kind of, I wouldn't say loses it, but just wants to save everything while he can't, and at the same time to meet something that kind of almost kills him at the same time as well. So I enjoyed this a lot. Will he actually die or not? We'll see. But a good start to a Silver Surfer story where you don't need to know a bunch of background and stuff. You can just jump on in and enjoy it. So this was a good one. I keep covering this book. Because I'm so surprised how much I'm enjoying it. I'm not a Symbiote fan or a Carnage fan in particular, but this new series with Eddie Brock and Carnage being melded together or having to live together in that has been pretty awesome so far. Eddie is looking, and a few other people are looking for this plane full of people that went missing that Carnage has kidnapped. And so they're trying to find that before they all die. And Carnage and Eddie, or even though they're in the same body, they do kind of at odds, So it's kind of fun. I like it so far, and it has Muse in there. Like, I know Muse showed up in the last issue, and now he's going to be in there again. So this is a neat take on some of the symbiote stuff. And I am enjoying it, even though, like I said, I am not a Symbiote fan. So another book that I did not expect to like, and I am. So from Mad Cave, we have issue number 3 of Far Down Below. This has been that series about these 2 young kids. They go up to an old family estate that's abandoned because they hear it's haunted, and they check it out, and they end up falling through the floor of the house during a fire and end up falling into like this underground subterranean area, and they find what they thought was his long dead grandfather who's been down there for 20 years. So it looked like they were going to be having this adventure with like all these kind of underground creatures and that definitely does happen in here. But at the same time, we see more development in this series where this is an area that has not only just like subterranean creatures, they have like dinosaurs in that as well too. So these giant kaiju type monsters and dinosaurs in that. So it's almost like an underground savage land. And yet more weirdness pops up. We got kind of futuristic Russian soldiers. So there's a whole lot of weird things going on underneath this house. And I'm really enjoying this book. That is Far Down Below from Mad Cave. And Mad Cave has been putting out some great stuff lately. Dynamite as well, with all their retelling of all the different IPs in that. Gargoyles being one of them. This is a spin-off, Demona. This is the origin of Demona. Picks up and from where they had that free comic book day one there a few weeks ago. And this is the story of her. So it takes place in old times, 1093. And it shows how she is trying to get this one group of gargoyles to leave and not live all together because they're far too trusting of the humans, and they end up being slaughtered, of course. So shows her dealing with this, and then it also shows her moving on to kind of the next time period. So this is a great book so far. I am familiar with gargoyles a little bit, not a whole lot. I knew who that Demona character is, and now I know a little bit more about her. So if you're a fan of the gargoyle stuff, you should like that. And if you're somebody who is not familiar with it and you do want to check it out, this would be a great place to start. Also, like I said, see if you can find that free comic book day comic that came out a few weeks ago. It has a little bit of a preview in there. From Image, one of my favorite books every month is Geiger. This is issue number 15. And here we have the conclusion of the Geiger, the glowing man, and the glowing woman. he thought the glowing woman was his ally and she was going to teach him how to control his powers. And in the end, she actually wanted to trick him there to help set off a nuclear bomb and help cure her of those powers, knowing that he would try to save everybody and use his radiation powers to absorb all the ambient energy around him to save everybody from the nuclear bomb, including absorbing her powers, which he actually does in that. So, but maybe things change. We don't know. See if you read more of the book. So, I love this universe so far, and it's only getting better. That is from Jeff Johns. That is Geiger. We have a few giant-sized Marvel books this month. The Amazing Spider-Man is being one of them. I got the Omni last week that has all the original giant-sized Marvel, so that was kind of very excited to read this. And it's pretty fun. We got a few different Spider-Man stories in here. Nothing too hard-hitting in that. And yeah, some of them are good, some are better than others. But they all are just straight-up fun. If you're looking for like a one-shot to grab somebody to read, just for fun in the summer on a road trip or your kids in that, this would definitely be a great book to read. Yeah, like I said, it is fun in that. The only thing unfortunate about it is a larger book, and Marvel does have those expensive price tags. So I believe that book is $8 or $9. So unfortunately, that is the only crappy thing about it. From Image, we have the 3rd issue of Golden Rage, Mothers Know Best, 3 of 5. This is that book where old women are deemed useless to society and they're sent to live on an isolated island where they survive and either form unions with each other or do like Lure of the Flies and kill each other in that. So a couple issues at the end of the first issue a few issues ago, a random baby just showed up on the island, and this has caused some turmoil, and the island itself was already very split politically in that, with these groups in that, and this is only making it worse. So this book is harsh. Like I said, these women are on an abandoned island and people get killed all the time or wounded in that because it's like Lure of the Flies, survival of the fittest. So where this baby came from and who it is going to go with in the end, we don't know. But if you enjoyed the first series, which was just the Golden Rage, then you'll definitely like this. As I said, it's been described before as like Lure of the Flies meets the Golden Girls. So lots of fun there. Also from Image, we have the 2nd issue of Lost Fantasy. I wasn't going to cover this book originally because the first issue was all right, but I didn't think it was super great. It is kind of about a world where magic and supernatural stuff is just mixed naturally with current society. And like I said, the art was great in that, but I just didn't really care for the story too much. But I gave the 2nd issue a chance, and it definitely made up more for it. I'm really enjoying this book now. There is this guy with the white hair, and you think his name is Blackheart. He's the main character of the story. He works with the FBI in their like magic department, policing of magic and stuff. And now he's on this case, and he himself in the last issue was someone tried to assassinate him, and they just barely missed him. So even though he did hit him, he didn't kill him, but he almost did die. So turns out these assassins are, again, magic people like him, and they do have a connection to him as well. So lots of different stuff going on in here. Like I said, it is about just the world interacting with these magic people, and it's almost like a part of the government type of thing. So I've enjoyed this a lot. It does kind of have like that something is killing the children feel to it, especially art-wise as well. But yeah, great monsters and magic and just normal everyday life stuff. So pretty cool action. So I definitely would suggest checking this one out. And he does have that cool big Final Fantasy sword. So also from this week was a new issue of the New Avengers. They started up a new volume of it with the new team. This team is even more made up of people who aren't team people. So it starts off with the Winter Soldier and the Black Widow forming a team to do these things, and they end up reaching out and getting people like the Wolverine. They have also they're going to eventually reach out and they have Namor, and then I think they also get Carnage in there, which I assume is the Eddie Brock Carnage. So neat book there. I enjoyed it. We'll see where that goes there. There's almost like the Justice League nowadays. There's almost too many Avengers teams and too many, every superhero is an Avenger type of thing. But whatever, it was all right. Something else that I'm enjoying, very similar, and that is this New Champions book. It's kind of like a Young Avengers with a bunch of characters that most of us aren't familiar with because a lot of them are pretty brand new. But it is a great book so far, and I'm really liking it. So we got your true, original Avengers, your main Avengers, meeting up with this younger team for the first time here to take on a Super Skrull. And this New Champions kind of main enemy so far, and I believe it's Magnetics or Magentics or something like that, which is like a young female Magneto. So I've enjoyed this book, lots of fun. And if you like Young Avengers or Super Sons or anything like that, that's a good book for you. Same with this book here. This is the new series Spider-Girl, spinning out of Spider-Man and Spider-Boy. Spider-Girl is a girl named Maka, who is a mutant, and her mutant ability is kind of like the Taskmaster's, where she can duplicate anybody's powers, but she has to make eye contact and that with them. So she has, those are temporary powers, but she was able to somehow get like permanent power possession of Spider-Boy when she looked at his eyes one time. So she was originally a villain, but now has kind of saw the light and changed her ways, and now is living in New York City trying to be a young female kid just surviving, but again having these mutant abilities. So she does join a dojo there, and just again normal kid stuff and that, and this evil person ends up sending out vermin, kind of these like, souped up, drugged up vermin after her to bring her down and capture her and bring her in, because they want to know the secret of her mutant abilities. So pretty good book so far. Seems like vermin's getting used a lot lately in a lot of different books for someone that never ever got used, kind of a C character, all of a sudden keeps showing up everywhere. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I like that Spider-Girl book and Spider-Boy. So one book that's kind of okay, this one's been one of the better issues of the series so far, has been The One World Under Doom. This is issue 5, and this is currently you have Doom and all the heroes attacking Romano, who has tried to take over the world right in the middle of New York. So they all work together. They do manage to defeat him in that, send them away, and now the debate does begin, not amongst all the normal people in the world, but amongst heroes, and that, like, is Doom should they just let Doom be Doom and do what he's doing, saving the world, making a better place in that, or the other half of the group is like, well, he's still Doom, there's got to be something more to it. So see how that goes. It is causing lots of turbulence and strife within these people. So Mariah Hill shows up at the end to hopefully try to solve what's going on here and bring these two sides together. From DC, part of this Superman summer, we have a new volume of Supergirl that started last month, issue 2 this month. We have Sophie Campbell doing the art and the story in here, and I'm really enjoying it. I enjoy Sophie Campbell's art. She did a great run, all those issues on IDW Turtles for so many years. So she's doing great art in here. Supergirl is always a nice character too. I like it. And it shows how there is a kind of an imposter Supergirl, Linda Danvers, that is living in her old town of Middale and is kind of assumed and taken over identity. And we find out it's actually a person that she knows, another young woman that came from the Kandor Bottle City. and she always felt like, she wasn't anybody important in that. So she escapes the bottle and starts beginning to become Supergirl and Linda Danvers and taking over her life in that. So fun book. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. If you're a Supergirl fan at all, you'll like it. And lots of current pop culture references to that, and the art's great too. So I'm a great Sophie Campbell fan. So. Speaking of, we have the new volume that she isn't writing, but Jason Aaron is, on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is issue 9. And this has been a great series so far. It's really picked up after the first few issues, of which I thought were a little slow, but they were kind of, slowly burning towards this. Juan Ferreira doing awesome artwork on here. Definitely artwork that suits the Turtles. And we see now the Turtles are kind of back in the city. The four brothers are back together, and they're still having their problems with each other. They've all gone through so much, and they all have kind of changed because of this. And we see how this is going on in their lives and how they're still trying to deal with it. Like I said, they all kind of are at that point of nervous breakdowns and stuff. Donatello was carrying around a dead rat, thinking it was Splinter, and talking and conversing with it. And now Leo seems to be doing it. Donatello himself has been captured by the foot soldiers in that, and now his brothers are coming out after to find him and to take down the Foot Clan and Kari herself. So this has been lots of great color and action and art in this book. Do check it out. Transformers, issue 21 from Image. I've been loving this series. Both this and the G.I. Joe stuff has been just amazing so far, and this book is no different. We see how the government, the G.I. Joe side, and that U.S. government are experimenting on Ultra Magnus here, doing mean, horrible stuff to him. We see that on Cybertron, we got the good Transformers who are out there trying to find Carly and just deal with the Decepticons going on there. Back on Earth, we see that the two warring fractions of the Decepticons have now been united again under Megatron, and now they're about to surprise attack and wipe out the Ark and the few remaining Autobots left. And it does not go well, as we find out in this series so far, that nothing does go well for the Autobots in this, and they get pretty beat up all the time. So that does happen here as well. Lots of great action and artwork in here. Like I said, like they show in every book so far. And again, still has all that familiar original Transformers feel to it and that, but definitely been updated for a more mature audience. So been really enjoying this, and like I say it every time, do check it out. Lastly, we have a book that I believe comes out on the 25th. I just happened to be able to find it a little bit early. This is a larger size book. I believe it's like 56 pages, so double. From AWA, it's called The Purpose Project, and it's a neat book here. I enjoyed it. It's got some really cool artwork on it. It's about a young woman who is starting her new job at a government agency where she goes and helps people, who have retired to do their work in that, to make sure they transition over and either enjoy their work or maybe help them do something else. It's kind of weird in the future. You can do 2 years service for the government in that, where you work at jobs in that, and then after that you basically live for free in the world because you've done your service type of thing. So she's starting that. She's a smart person, and she's been assigned to work with this older guy that's about to retire. He's kind of curmudgeon, and you get these two different kind of conflicting personalities. So it's kind of like a buddy cop feel going on, and it just shows her and him working with these people, trying to adjust to new periods in their life. So it's a neat book. I know it doesn't sound too crazy. It's definitely not superhero-like or action-adventure in that, but it's a neat read, and it's